Hello and welcome into the Jam Happy Hour. It is a beautiful, lovely day for some music and some artistry. And so today we're going to be joined by Ariel, who I believe is coming to us from Los Angeles. Hello.
Hello.
Look at my screen's going crazy on me behind me. That's a good time.
And I got some good
But,
shadows, so we're in this together.
yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out and play some music. I'm really excited to get to know you a little bit better.
Oh, I'm so excited to share and get to know you a little bit better.
You have a very distinct style about your music and about your whole aesthetic. Like I love how you use colors. I love how you use moods, and your Instagram is like such a treat to dive into. Like I just musically and styling is it's on point. So I'm very excited about today.
Thank you. Thank you
I
so
know
much.
we're gonna obviously jump into some music here in a little bit, but to get to know you a little bit better, I did see the most interesting photo on your Instagram. I absolutely loved it. You were holding a very large owl. You have got to tell me what was going on in that picture.
Yeah, it was awesome. Actually, my calendar, I just caught with my eye a calendar, and January page is an owl because it's, I think, the World Wildlife Federation. So that's
Okay.
ironic and kind of cool.
Hmm.
But I was in Edinburgh with a friend, and we were just walking around the city, and there was a guy with a giant owl, and her name is
Okay.
Hazel.
Aw.
And so the friend I was traveling with is very afraid of birds. Like, we used to have a parakeet when I was in high school, and when the bird would fly, and the bird was like this big, she
Yeah.
would duck. She would scream and she would duck. So big fear. And so, of her own volition, she thought, I think I should hold this owl.
Aw.
I said, that's amazing. Let's do
That's
it. So she did, and the guy had the owl flutter its wings, and I got a great picture of her, like, but she did it. And so then he said, do you want to hold her? And I said, of course. So
yeah.
it was super sweet. He said that apparently she and Vanessa Hudgens are best friends, and
Oh.
if you go on Hazel's and Owl's Instagram, you see that they are good friends.
Aw.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if you guys haven't connected, you can find her on Instagram at Music by Ariel. And definitely check out the owl photos because it's stunning and amazing, and that thing is beautiful. But you were in Edinburgh, so you've been traveling.
Yeah, I have been. I didn't start until August, and I went to Greece with a friend who's been traveling the whole year, and
Hmm.
then I went to UK and Edinburgh and Paris, and it was just awesome.
Do you feel like, getting out and exploring more, and especially after the last couple of years, do you think that is going to kind of affect the music you're going to be making and creating now moving forward?
Absolutely. Anytime that you get out of your comfort zone and explore a new part of the world, it informs your art and
Hmm.
even maybe your personality in ways that we don't realize until a later time or never, or it just hits us.
No, no, I absolutely agree. I was out in your neck of the woods over the weekend, and it was just so great to get out and get a change of scenery. That yeah, I mean, I definitely came back a little lighter and brighter, and for sure, absolutely, I believe that travel is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I'm ready to get back to a lot more of it. Speaking of travel, how much touring are you doing these days?
Well, with the pandemic, I have not been touring, but I was
Hmm.
able to play my first shows back starting in the summer, which was just so exciting and it's hard to put into words. And um, I'm hoping to tour in 2022, the year
Great,
we're in now, which seems crazy to say.
3 weeks in already.
I know. It's a little late to say Happy New Year, but I worked
Never.
out that the first 18 days is the first 5% of the year. So I feel like
Oh,
that's the okay time to still say Happy New Year. I don't know. There's no limit really. But yeah, I'm hoping to tour this year and play more shows. And there's just nothing like live music. So
did you find yourself getting some of the almost the butterflies when you finally were able to get back on stage after so long?
um,
The good
yeah,
butterflies.
the good butterflies for sure. And then it just so happened that the first show back, it was like the most technical difficulties I've ever experienced in any show. But I
Of
was
course.
just so happy to be back that I was on cloud nine anyway. And so, whereas before it might have bummed me out, stressed me out, like I just was telling bad jokes. And I mean, it sounded like my voice was like the tracks were coming from outer space. And it was crazy. It was crazy technical difficulties, but we worked it out.
Yeah. That's so great because, yeah, it would have completely stressed me out. And you're just like, I don't care.
Like, this is just so great. We're all together. I'm sweating, but it's fine.
That is fantastic. Well, speaking of the music, I would love to go ahead and jump on in. And do you have what are you going to play for us first?
I'm going to play a tune called Surgery. It's
Okay.
off the last album I put out called Avaka Pop Side A. I call it an EP. Spotify calls it an album. So we'll meet in the middle. And it's about self love and wishing that someone could maybe just put you to sleep, fix all your problems, and you'd wake up and be healed. And it's sort of the magic of healing work that we have to and we get to do a lot of it ourselves. So,
Sign me up for that, please.
and it goes like this. Oh, okay. Someone once told me if you count back from 100 to 1, things don't hurt so bad. Never really get there around 60. I lose track in my head. Those numbers don't have my back. Just like this bright blue gown, a sterile sickness house, fluorescent lights surround me. I'm spinning. Why does it hurt to heal? How come my bones can't break? Knock me out, stitch me up. It's surgery. You'll be the doctor here. Close eyes but open ears. Knock me out, stitch me up. It's surgery. Oh, oh. Someone once told me if you learn a lesson once, you never learn it again. It'll stick with you till the end. It hurts, it burns, it's wearing at the soles of my shoes. You talk about substance abuse. Why does it hurt to heal? How come my bones can't break? Knock me out, stitch me up. It's surgery. You'll be the doctor here. Closed eyes but open ears. Knock me out, stitch me up. It's surgery. Oh, oh, I'm wishing you find me now. Take some time here. How you hardly hear me. Wow. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna make a plan. I'm gonna stick to my plan. I'm gonna dance when the lights come on. You'll be the doctor here. Closed eyes but open ears. Knock me out, stitch me up. It's surgery. You'll be the doctor here. Closed eyes, open ears. Hey, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ooh, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
That is so good.
Oh, thank you.
Ariel is hanging out with us here in the Jam Happy Hour today, and I know that you've kind of described like your music or the experience of like your music. It is a full experience. It's not just, one thing. It's not ears, it's not sight, it's not sounds. Like, do you find yourself thinking like in the full senses mode when you're creating this music?
Absolutely. I think that music is one of our most immersive creative expressions, and it hits us at the drum hits us at our heart and kind of at our core, and
Hmm.
the bass hits us. You feel it in your body. The bass hits you in your stomach, in your heart, in your root chakra,
Yeah.
whatever you want to think about, and then it's your ears and your body, and I think it just really transmutes the emotion in a way that nothing else does.
Hmm.
So that's something I love a lot about it. And music for me is a way to figure out how I'm feeling sometimes. So when
Yeah.
I'm writing it, it often is like journaling or a
Hmm.
therapy session. And I'm sure it's like that for a
Yeah.
lot of other artists and creatives as well, and with whatever creativity they channel.
I mean, sure, it has to be very cathartic, though, and especially when you're going through the feelings, or you're going through, what is kind of bringing on this song inside of you to actually, be able to bring that out, like to have that creative outlet. That has got to be such a great feeling, like when you're done and you've got your little musical baby, and it's like it's all ready to go, and then you release it. And you have been actively releasing music like almost every year since like 2015. Like you're really getting quite the catalog together. When you do feel like these songs come on, is it something that you're always constantly thinking about, or is it like a moment that hits?
It's a moment that hits, but it's also something that I've just been doing since I could talk. I've been singing forever and writing songs since I was little. And
Hmm.
uh, so sometimes, like when I first started writing in the first EP I put out, one of the songs came all at once with a vocal melody and the lyrics. And
Wow.
I didn't play instruments at that time, probably like 7 years ago now. Seven
Hmm.
years ago. Wow, 2015. Um,
Yeah.
and so then I figured out what chords go under it, and then sometimes it's like the guitar, and it varies, and that's another exciting piece of the process for me.
I know it's the name of one of your EPs or slash albums, depending on who you're talking to. But
Mm-hmm.
Avakapop is such a great word,
Yeah.
and it's more than just obviously the name. Like it is, it is something that you strive to musically. Like, what is Avakapop?
Vodka pop is music that makes you think and feel. And then beyond that, it's a genre that you said it really beautifully. It's a genre that I get to grow into,
Mm-hmm.
and I think something exciting about music, as is life, is that we're constantly evolving. So it's just I want my music to say something,
Hmm.
and I put out music kind of before I knew what that was, but I just had to put it out. And
Yeah.
then as I was out there, I thought, what story do I want to tell?
Hmm.
And there's so many great melodies on the radio, and sometimes I feel like I think of the Beatles and their music, and it was
Oh.
all grounded in love. Even when
Hmm.
they sang about other things, it was very much in love. And I feel like some of the lyrics today aren't that, or it's just such a powerful medium that I wanted to use it. And so
Hmm.
in creating it kind of happened by accident because a music blog called me PBR&B,
Hmm.
and I didn't know what that was, so I googled it. And I don't like beer,
Right.
um, and I'm gluten intolerant, so it's just like it doesn't like me either.
It
And I
wouldn't
was like,
work.
what? They're calling me like hipster beer R&B. I don't like that. My dad's an inventor
Ah.
and patent lawyer, so I grew up with the understanding that if I didn't like something the way it was, or if it wasn't already there, I could invent it. So
Hmm.
the next time I was having an interview, they asked my genre, and I said, "Oh, it's a vodka pop." And they said, "What's that?" So now I've gotten to turn it into a story. And so the vodka pop story, side A was it's a story of self love, and side A was about light. So realizing that you've
Hmm.
been hurting yourself in some way, or
Hmm.
um, you know, kind of in the darkness, and then seeing through the darkness into the light. And
Hmm.
then side B, which I've put a few songs out from now and will come out this year, is
Oh, I think we got mute.
Hello?
There she is. There. Ah.
That's so weird. My mute button was suddenly pressed and I didn't press it.
Oh, what's going on over there? You're talking about the feelings and the chakras, and I think you just might have brought something in.
Yeah.
See, technical difficulties. We talked about it. It's like when you're on stage and like, obviously things pop up and they happen and if you're not prepared for it. But like you were saying, like on that show, back in the summer when all the things were happening, you're like, I'm just so happy. I don't care. And I think, when you get to play music and you get to perform music like that has got to be such a great feeling
Yeah. There's
to
nothing
know
like
that
it.
you have the ability to do that, like to write songs and perform songs. Like that has got to be such a high.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it helps navigate the lows too.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I guess what my navigate my lows probably was like maybe like exercise. Actually, no, cranking up music, just playing music, always having it on in the house. So kind of that same vibe. I don't get to create it, but I can certainly play it.
Yes, music's
A lot of it.
amazing. Exercise
And speaking
is
of
good too.
Yeah. Speaking of playing some music, I know you have a couple more songs we have many songs to get through today, which I'm super excited about. But what are the next couple of songs that you're going to perform for us?
So the next song is also from side A, of Aquapop side A.
And you said side B is coming out later this year.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
And I'm actually, I think, going to play an unreleased song
Ooh.
from that side to close the set.
Oh, that's
So
exciting.
that's exciting.
That is exciting. I love that. New music.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So this one is called Nanograms, and it was the first song on side A. And it started as a freestyle, actually, at my friend's studio. And I think that's just a really cool way to get a stream of consciousness and kind of get into our own heads and what our heart and head are thinking at the moment. And then we edited it and whittled it down because it was long, and it became a piece about I guess about paranoia and how our mind can play tricks on us. And then I always love to start sets with it because you'll hear, but it's kind of very self-reflective and aware in its own lyrics. So here, I'll just let it sing for itself now, I guess,
right.
now that I've explained it to
I am
a
all
T.
ears. I'm going to be picking it
right.
apart. I can't wait.
People are watching. People are watching me. People are staring. People been scaring me. People been mean. People been caring. People been mean. It's breathing. Breathing the rhythm. It's breathing. Like out and in. It's breathing. I wanna run away. Green leaves, the time keeps slipping. Red glare, my heart keeps skipping. Beat up over something or another. Taking hold of the warmth of another. But take heed. Sometimes I lose my way. Oh, sometimes I lose my way. Get lost, stick your tongue out and dance. I wanna see you make romance. I wanna see you tap your feet, shake your hips, and move your head to the side like la da da dee, la da 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 da, do 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 do. I wanna run away. I wanna run away with you. You wanna run away. You wanna, you. La da da da, la da, la da da da, hey. La da da da, la da. La da da da, don't you see? So I think I'll just hop right into the next one. And I'm gonna play a tune from side B, and it's called Spooky Words, and it's about someone's actions and words not matching up, and realizing that you deserve better. Are we on another bend? Creeping out the door when I let you in. Shivers on my skin where you touch and go. You love to pick a fight 'cause you think you know best. Telling me it's all pretend. Everything's a joke I don't understand. But there's a little truth in the things you say. Once they're off your tongue, they don't go away, no. I know that you do and you don't mean to stir fires that leave me so cold. I think you're trying to scare me just to keep me close. Keep me close. But I'm just hearing spooky words. It's not what I deserve. No, you're trying to make me stay. Ooh, scary stories tripping me out, shaking me down, but I'm just hearing spooky words. Spooky words. Spooky words. And words won't make me stay tonight just because I'm afraid. These habits keep killing us slow. You're running from your feelings, leaving me alone. Together in the room, but you're far away. You push me to the brink, but I don't love that way. And I know that you do and you don't mean to stir fires that leave me so cold. I think you're trying to scare me just to keep me close. Keep me close. But I'm just hearing spooky words. It's not what I deserve. No, you're trying to make me stay. Ooh, scary stories tripping me out, shaking me down, but I'm just hearing spooky phone. You were in Barcelona, you needed a break. What the heck do I say? Now you made a mistake, but I'm just hearing spooky words. It's not what I deserve. No, you're trying to make me stay. Ooh, scary stories tripping me out, shaking me down, but I'm just hearing spooky words. Spooky words. Spooky words. And words won't make me stay tonight just because I'm afraid. No, no,
That is really good. And I love how you described it in that moment of when somebody's words and their actions don't line up. And like, like this is not the place for you to be. And that message really comes across in that song. How interesting is it? I mean, it feels like a very personal song. Like that's something that you actually went through. Do you tend to write from a place of that realism?
Yeah, I do. There's been songs I've written inspired by things that have happened to other people, but generally it's grounded in experience.
So you take a situation like that, which is obviously, unfortunately, many of us have kind of maybe walked through something like that, and you put it out there, and it's in this song, and then you see it take on another life, kind of like with, whoever's listening to it and taking it in and having their response to it.
Yeah.
Like, is that something that you think about, while you're writing these songs, that it's going to take on a different kind of life in somebody else's heart?
Oh, I'm back now, yeah?
Yeah.
It means something different to everybody, and that's a really special piece, and just that it resonates. I can't ever expect it to resonate in one specific way, but I love telling stories. It's something I've always loved to do, so I like to tell the story behind the song sometimes just to
I love that.
inform how I see it.
When you've got lyrically, like you've got a great cadence, and you've got like almost like a lilt in the words, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm always very interested to hear, like, what are you going to say next, and how are you going to, or sing next? Like, how are you going to complete the story? I'm a big fan of lyrics. I'm a big fan of your lyrics. Have you always been like a writer like that? Do you think in that way?
I think in that way.
Like, is there always like a song in your head?
Well, yes, that's for sure. When I was in elementary school, you know how they write notes on your report card? I would get sings too much, not talks too much. Like in class, didn't care where I was. So yeah, I think that I do. I see the world in words, I guess sometimes, or poems, and I really love to find meaning in the things around me and patterns. And
it does have like a very, like, almost like a poetry feel to it, like, the way that you said that. Yeah, like stanzas and beats and words and stuff like that. It's very cool. My ears just naturally perk up when I hear stuff like that. So maybe that's why I'm just such a big fan.
oh, thank you so much.
When you had said that, earlier, that you didn't start off playing instruments. Is that something that you had to like teach yourself, or did you make the decision like, I want to play my own stuff and now we got to get to work?
I mean, I still have a ways to go with the guitar. I have some really great guitar players in my life. My dad is one of the best guitar players I've
Aw.
ever known.
You guys get to do music together. How special is that?
Yeah. So during the pandemic, I was home with them, and I got to play a lot of guitar with him, and I'm much better than I was a year and a half ago.
Make the
And
pandemic work for you.
Right? I still have a ways to go, but I think it's just at some point, like I was always singing, but I wasn't good at instruments naturally, and it was like you need to practice, and I was such a perfectionist that I couldn't get over the fact that, my fingers couldn't keep up, and so I just wouldn't practice, and then I hated to not sound good in front of people, and actually the only way that I got myself to practice was by, booking a show where I was going to accompany myself, and so I had to practice, and
Trial by fire.
yeah, it's kind of what I do. I set deadlines and say I'm going to release a song this day, and then it helps because I tend to just want to make new stuff and not necessarily finish things. So, but yeah, I kind of like I think the pandemic made me realize, as much as I love technology and electronic music and tools, there's something really magical about organic acoustic sets. And so I wanted, like this, for instance, today to be an intimate acoustic set, just kind of me and you and a guitar.
And it's definitely it changes the music, I think. I mean, Pro Tools and production and like all the cool like filters and stuff, they make great songs. But I think like, when you can strip it down and it can be just you, me, and a guitar, and I think it completely changes how the song hits. You talked about bass, you talked about, instrumentation and stuff like that. I think that something about the acoustic guitar experience, it is, like you said, very intimate.
Yeah, and that's where I still get nervous. You asked about the butterflies. The butterflies for me these days are my fingers, and hoping that I don't mess up on the
I think
guitar.
you're doing a great job. Again, I at one point I tried to pick it up, and my daughter, she tried to pick, like you, perfectionism, can't slow down enough, can't give myself a grace to not be perfect and not know how to do it right away. And the fact that you made the decision that you were going to learn it and you were going to do it and you performed with it, like, why am I not surprised, Ariel? I mean, that just seems like a very you thing to do. I love it.
Yeah, sometimes I like to be a little messy in front of other people.
Don't we all? Same girl. Not messy though. Very awesome, actually. I'll take it if you want to grab like a sip of water. And I wanted to talk about the new wines that just came out, that arrived on our doorstep yesterday. I'm so excited for this. So Butter Chardonnay is fantastic, and it's my favorite Chardonnay. Everybody knows that. But now Butter, they've expanded the line, and there's a Butter Cab, and there's Butter Bubbles, and there's like it's like Butter brothers and sisters across the wine world, and I am super excited about it. And they're actually giving away butter for a year. That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to try it, it's jamsellers.com/winbutter. I mean, could you just imagine like calling your girlfriend that you went traveling with and like, hey, I just won butter for a year. Come over. Let's play some music.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine the songs you could come up with.
Very buttery songs.
Have you, this is going to be, maybe it's an off-color question, but have you ever been in like an altered state and like written a really great song, and then like the next day you're like, what let me try that again?
Well, a lot of musicians love smoking weed and making music, and I definitely, when I started, I didn't smoke weed at all, and then actually Nanograms was written that way. And
Interesting.
I think that
because it has kind of a different sound too.
It does, and it was on KX. No, why am I blanking? It was on a great radio station that my mind is farting on right now. But if you listen to the version on my Spotify, and it's the same kind of with all these songs, maybe except for Surgery, they have a different feel. They're produced, and this is sort of the stripped down version of them. So yeah, that one's just kind of in the pocket, in the moment. Yeah,
some beautiful songs can be born.
Right, and that's how you often access like stream of consciousness. And
yes,
sometimes I think people, when you have a drink, for instance, you say things you might not have said.
The
Your
filter slips
filter's
off a little bit.
Yeah. So it's fun to play that way, but I like to be unaltered as well when I'm
Oh,
writing and performing.
for sure. I
More
write
than I do
notes when I'm
altered.
asleep. So I will literally, I have like a pen and a pad. I've always got one around me, but I will write notes in my sleep and I'll wake up in the morning and I will try to figure out what it is that I was writing. And half the time I can't. Is that odd? It's totally weird. But but it's that
I
stream of
just
consciousness.
I have so many questions. Like what are you writing? Your dreams, or is it like notes to self for the next day,
It's
or is
notes
it?
to self, or it is, it started off honestly as an anxiety tool because I would lay in bed and I would think of all the things that I needed to get done. And then I would just ruminate on it and spin and spin and spin. And so my therapist was like, write it down, like put it out. And that way it doesn't stay in your head. What it morphed into, though, is this really weird thing where I will write notes to myself completely asleep. And then I'll wake up in the morning and I'm like, what in the world? Like, maybe I'll send them to you.
Okay. I'll take them. I'm honored.
And then we can see what we can come up with there. So
Will I be able to read your handwriting?
probably not.
Okay.
I'll
Because
dictate
the
it.
lights are off, I'm
Oh,
guessing.
it's bad. But here's a question. When it comes to like writing songs and writing lyrics and stuff like that, do you keep like the original sheets? Like, do you have like a file somewhere of like all your like song babies?
I am a chronic journal purchaser,
Ah,
so they are spread out. But yes, I love original versions. Sometimes now with technology and
mm-hmm,
just the nature of sessions, I'll do it in a note on my phone.
mm-hmm.
But then there's something special about writing it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely do. My dog just got up. He's
Aww,
roaming.
we love puppies.
He's a
I was
good
at
one.
the Tate in London years ago, like maybe 20 years ago, and they have that whole section there in the museum that it's all the handwritten lyrics, Beatles and
I was
like,
just there.
oh my God, okay, so you know what I'm talking about. I think that
Yeah.
is so cool that you're preserving all of that, and who knows, like where it'll end up one day. It could be art, it could be something that you just keep for yourself. Like I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, I do too. Thank you.
You ever
Yeah.
like go flipping back through them, like maybe some of the journals from like 2015, 2016, and the songs back then, just to kind of see like your arc and like personally where you've gone, but also musically?
Yeah. And there's so many ones that haven't cut it. They haven't made it into production or,
Hmm.
I'm sure as a lot of musicians, I'm sitting on a lot of unreleased songs, but then it's cool to even see the poems that were written or lyrics. And then
Hmm.
sometimes there was a really cool experience that happened. So probably the first song I remember writing, I was 7, 8, 9, something like that.
Okay.
It was a very Disney Channel-esque theme song vibe because I think of what I was listening to. Like I was listening
Yeah.
to the greats, like Rolling Stones, Crosby, Stills, Nash Young, like all my dad's music,
Sure.
and then like Disney Channel and Top 40. So it was
Yeah.
very informed by that. And I I don't know where it is. I feel like maybe I found it since in a notebook, but I was visiting Chicago where I grew up,
Hmm.
and I was on a train, and suddenly the song popped into my head. Like I hadn't remembered it, and this was maybe 6 years ago.
Wow.
And as I'm sitting on the train and the scenes of my old hometown are flying by in the window, this song is just playing in my head.
What?
It was such a trip.
And it just came back out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The mind is a crazy thing.
It's so cool. It's like we file things away and then they come out at unexpected times.
I mean, especially like when you're in that environment and you're in your childhood. That of course, that's gonna bring that back out. That's neat. That's so cool. So you said you grew up in Chicago.
Yeah.
So when did you make it out to California?
We moved right before I started high school.
Oh, I bet that had an impact.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like you can find both influences in your music?
Yeah, I do. I said my dad plays guitar, and he and his
Hmm.
brothers were in a band growing up together. And then my dad was in a
Fun.
12-piece rhythm and blues band when he was growing up because he grew up on the South Side kind of his whole life until he had kids. And then,
Yeah.
so that's there for sure. And his sort of influence of music and growing up in a suburb and then moving to LA was a big change in my life. It's not like I moved around my whole life like I have friends who have, but it still
Hmm.
was a big jolt. So And then LA is just a different environment completely,
Yeah.
physically, weather-wise, but also just energetically and the people. So,
It's
for
definitely
sure.
not Chicago.
No, we are so blessed to not have the wind and the cold that hurts your face.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I made the mistake of going to Chicago in February once, and I won't make that mistake again.
I know. I tell my family and friends, I'm like, I will come visit you in the spring or the fall.
Yeah, and they'll come visit you every other time of year because I mean it's Los Angeles and it's lovely. Um, I would love to jump in on a couple more songs.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love the stories that you tell in the songs. So, um, you want to kind of set that up for us? Like, what are we about to hear?
This next song is called Placebo, and it's about a person that feels like they're fixing you,
Mm,
and maybe it's a relationship, romantically, and you realize that like they're not the one fixing you, they're just this beautiful placebo in your life, and not to knock them,
no,
but yeah, like you're the one feeling better. Isn't it great when you can just take a placebo and it fixes you? So,
interesting.
yeah. Yeah. Let me
I
take one of
like it.
these off.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So it's Ariel and the Jam Happy Hour.
When the room brightened, I was feeling okay. Tangled up in blankets. When you look at me, I see myself in your eyes. We start dancing and rise up. I'm good at finding the flaws, a knack for seeing the cracks in the walls. It knocks me down, I breathe you in, you lift me up above it. You're a high without a calm down, trip without a crash. Maybe you're a placebo, a pill in a tuxedo. You keep it real though. You're a placebo, you're costumed like a hero. You keep it real though. Real. You keep it real. Real. I would lose my way in the darkness of night. I'd wake up feeling anxious. But when you're with me, you get me seeing the stars. We start dancing and light up. I'm good at finding the flaws, a knack for seeing the cracks in the walls. It knocks me down, I breathe you in, you lift me up above it. You're a high without a calm down, trip without a crash. Maybe you're a placebo, a pill in a tuxedo. You keep it real. You keep it real though. Real. You keep it real. 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 You keep it real. Real. So that's just a sweet little love song to self, to someone in your life, to something in your life. And well, I think the last tune I'm gonna play is unreleased, and it's one that I really love to play at live shows. And it's called Canary, and it's about being sensitive. They used to send canaries out into coal mines, and if you don't know, I figured I'd explain it quickly. If the canaries died, it was not safe for the coal miners. And so I think about that in life, and sometimes those of us who are sensitive maybe are just feeling it first, and yeah, it goes like this. I'm a canary, I sing like a bird. Yes, I'm a canary, I sing like a bird. Oh, look at you, then look at me. Can count the places in between. We'll take it higher than they've ever seen. When you surrender to harmony, to harmony. You try to hide your love away. It'll never stay, never stay, never stay, never stay, never stay. I'm singing, don't try to hide your love away. It'll never stay. I'm a canary with wings I can soar. Yes, I'm a canary. We'll make something more than we ever did before. Look at you, look how you fly. You paint your colors straight through the sky. We'll take it higher than they've ever seen. When you surrender to harmony, to harmony. You try to hide your love away. It'll never stay, never stay, never stay, never stay, never stay. I'm singing, don't try to hide your love away. It'll never stay. I'm singing, you try to hide your love away. It'll never stay, never stay, never stay, never stay, never stay. I'm singing, don't try to hide your love away.
can see why you like playing that one live. That really takes you like into that place. Like that's beautiful. I mean, with the music and the styling, and obviously your voice, and hearing it acoustic, um, and the story of the Canary. That's really it's a beautiful song. That, is that going to eventually be released on the Avaka Pop B side?
Yeah, that will be on side B. Thank you. And that was actually one of the first songs I wrote with the guitar. I was in Spotify had these secret genius studios, and I was in them for a few days, and I had this idea with kind of those lullaby-esque open chords up the guitar neck, and then turned it into that song. And yeah, so it's special to play live, and it's always different when I'm playing with a band, because usually when I play live shows it's with a band, but it's one of my favorites to play just me and a guitar.
And the opposite of just me and a guitar is obviously collaborations, which is also something that you really embrace. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say if you had to pick one because they're just completely different, in their own. But how much do you enjoy collaborations?
I love them. I love them, and I think during the pandemic, I embraced the solo because it's what we had available without having to do a Zoom session, which are so hard with multiple people in different spaces. But it's very cool when people bring their different sensibilities and approaches and perspective into the same piece. And so whether it's in writing, because I write all of my songs, but a lot of them are co-writes, or in playing finished songs with instrumentalists, it's always a different experience and always very special. So
I can see that. Plus, you get to, obviously feed off each other's energies and, whatever, wherever they're at in that moment, bringing it to the song has got to be a beautiful thing to see kind of come together. Like today has been a beautiful day, and I've certainly enjoyed getting to know you, Ariel, better, and your music better. And I know we've got the next project, album, EP, whatever they want to call it, coming up later this year, which is exciting. And, you talked about touring a little bit later on this year, and hopefully we can meet up out on the road. And hey, if you're ever in Napa, I know people.
Okay. Yes. Well, I'm so happy I could be here, and, Jam, thanks for having me. Thanks for sending me some awesome bottles of the new butter.
I'll toast to you on that.
Yes.
We have to do this again. And really, if you ever are, in Napa, come on by the music room. We'd love to have you. Maybe, Bottle Rock's coming up in May. And that is always a fun music festival. We can definitely hang. And keep an eye on this space, though, because Jam Cellars is going to be giving away tickets to Bottle Rock coming up all throughout February. Not that,
Amazing.
We could maybe possibly meet up. Maybe we'll see you up on that stage.
That would be so fun. Yeah. And I would love to come back and bring more of a full band setup, or
that would be cool.
Combination. Yeah.
I would like to see like the acoustic version versus like the full band version. And I know you have a lot of content out there, which I think is really cool, but like between the YouTubes and your webpage and your Instagrams and stuff like that, what is the best way for us to keep up with you?
I think that the social media platform I'm most active on is Instagram still. And I have a big link in my bio that takes you to whatever streaming download service you listen on, and has latest videos, and I keep that updated. So that's probably the best way.
Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for your talent.
Likewise.
And thank you for your beautiful music. And I hope everybody enjoyed getting to spend this Jam Happy Hour with Ariel. I will definitely look forward to the next time.
Likewise. Thank you so much.